I'm Brenda Quintana, coming to you from the Beehive at cubiesquest.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful box using the Free as a Bird bundle. This bundle consists of the Free as a Bird stamp set that has beautiful images and greetings, and the Stitch Nested Labels dies. Now these dies are going to be essential to making this box, and I will be using the Free as a Bird stamp set to decorate it. This box has a beautiful shape to it. When it opens up, it's like having a double box. It slides off really easily, and I've lined it with some Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. Then it's just really easy to close back up. Has a nice snug fit, and it looks really beautiful. I'm going to show you how to make this box from start to finish, so let's get started. To start off with, you're going to need the Stitch Nested Labels dies, and you're going to cut 2 of the second largest die, 2 of the third largest die, and 1 of the second smallest die. I've cut these dies out of thick Whisper White cardstock. Next, you're going to need your Simply Scored scoring board, and you're going to need a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. I've cut this piece to 10 1/8 inches by 2 inches. I'm going to put one of the short sides up at the top, and I'm going to score at the 1 5/8 inch mark. Then I'm going to turn this piece a quarter turn to the right, so that the line that we just scored is closer to the bottom of the cardstock. And then I'm going to score at the 2 5/8 inch mark, the 3 3/4 inch mark, the 4 7/8 inch mark, the 7 1/2 inch mark, the 8 5/8 inch mark, and the 9 3/4 inch mark. You can set this piece aside for a moment. Then you're going to need another piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. This time I've cut the piece to 10 3/8 inches by 2 inches. You're also going to need a strip of the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper, and I've cut this piece to 10 3/8 inches by 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to take some Tombow and put a line of Tombow on the back of this paper. And I'm going to line it up along one of the long edges. Like that. Then I'm going to rotate this piece so that the Designer Series paper is right next to my edge. And I'm also going to score this piece at the 1 5/8 inch mark. Then I'm going to turn it a quarter turn to the right so that my Designer Series paper is up at the top. Then I'm going to score this piece at the 2 3/4 inch mark, the 3 7/8 inch mark, the 5 inch mark, the 7 3/4 inch mark, the 8 7/8 inch mark, and the 10 inch mark. So here are the pieces we just scored. Set the cardstock with the Designer Series paper on it aside for now. We're going to fold this piece of cardstock along all the score lines. You can use your bone folder to help you smooth down those folds. And now fold this long skinny fold up, and let me just fold that. Now we're going to cut some V's into this bottom skinny segment to create tabs. So I'm just going to use my scissor, and at the score mark here I'm just going to cut a V right along this intersection right here. And I just want to make sure I cut it right off. And you're going to do that at each score intersection. It's already starting to look like little tabs. And when you come to the end here, there's this skinny little strip. So I'm also going to cut this corner away, but I'm going to do it on a bit of an angle So I create that end tab right here, and I'll turn this around, and I'm also going to create a tab right here on the side. And then this one right here on the end, I'm just going to cut it off at an angle. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to put some Tombow on this end tab right here, and I'm just going to fold it over, and then I'm going to bring this in right here. I'm just going to fold it up like that so that it lines up, so that that last piece overlaps and it lines up. And then your piece, when you open it, it should look like this with these little tabs on the bottom. So you can fold these tabs down so that they're flat. And now I'm going to take one of the dies that I cut earlier, and it's the middle-sized one that you're going to need. And you can test it out by just laying it on top of your box, and it should fit pretty closely to this bottom of the box with very little overhang. So what you're going to do is you're going to put Tombow on all of these tabs here. And then you're going to flip this around, and you're going to line up one of these long edges with the edge of this die cut piece. And when that looks good, just press down on the inside right here so you start to get it to adhere down. And then you're going to come over here on the other side, and you're going to push this out so that the other long side also matches up with the long edge, and then you're going to press that down. If you have those two in place, then the side tabs, the smaller ones, should pretty much come into place, and you shouldn't have to manipulate them too much. Just make sure you press down on all of those tabs to make sure that they're adhered well. Now we're going to take one of the largest shapes that we cut earlier, and we're going to glue this box to the bottom. So now we're going to create a box that has a little bit of a lip to it. So I'll just take the bottom of the box we just created. I'm going to add Tombow to it. And then I'm going to center this box right on top of this die as closely as I can. And when that looks good to you, just press down on the bottom of the box to make sure it adheres well. So now you've got the bottom of the box finished. Now we're going to take the other scored piece and fold it along all the score lines. And then we're going to bend over the long skinny piece and make sure that we fold that one as well. So now again, we're going to cut little V's into this piece to make tabs. We're going to be working on this skinny scored segment here. And so with every score intersection, I'm just going to cut a V. And then when we come to the end with this skinny side segment, we're going to cut away the corner plus a little bit more on an angle so that we create nice little tabs. So it looks like that. And then on this end over here, we're just going to do a little angle cut so that we create a nice little tab on the end. Then just like we did with the other one, we're going to put Tombow on this little side tab right here. And I'm just going to fold this over a little bit and then bring this together. It makes it easier to line everything up. And once you've got this glued together, you have this little shape here again. So now we're going to bring in the bottom of the box, and this is the really important part. We're going to be using the bottom of the box to shape the top of the box. So you're going to take this piece and you're going to put it over top of the bottom of the box. So it sits like that, and now you'll know everything is perfectly aligned. And this time we're not going to have to use that smaller die cut. We're going to be using the largest die cut. So it's going to create that overhang. And we're just going to go ahead and put Tombow on all of these tabs. And then I'm going to flip over this box and I'm going to line it up on that bottom die cut, and then just give it a little flip over, and now you're just going to try and press down a little bit so that you get a little bit of that box adhering, and then flip this over one more time and then pull off the bottom of the box from the top very carefully. You don't want to move the placement of the tabs. And once this is open, now you're going to press down on what will become the top of the box, but you're going to press down on all of those tabs so that they stay in the right place. So now the box part is actually finished, and you can just close up the box. Now the last thing we'll want to do is decorate the top of the box. So for that, I'm going to take that piece that I cut earlier and also the other smaller piece. And I'm going to take my Tuxedo black ink pad. And first I'm going to stamp the little thank you onto this shape right here. Then I'm going to create a little pattern on the top with the Free as a Bird stamp set. I'm going to start off with the largest single flower, ink it up, and stamp it down here in the corner. I'm going to take this medium flower and stamp two of them kind of right next to each other here. Then I might need to protect my work surface a little bit. And I'm going to take this leaf stamp and kind of extend it out from this medium flower here. And I can continue that leaf right down here if I just keep stamping like that, and I can let it come up from the bottom a little bit like that. I can also take it and have it come off of this little flower like that, and then I want to add this little bud in here. We're just going to add it right there, and then I'm going to add one more leaf coming up this way. So to color this, I'm going to use 3 Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use my Petal Pink Dark, Old Olive Light, and my Smoky Slate Light. So let's start off with the Petal Pink brush tip, and I'm just going to come along and just color all of the flowers. I'm going to keep it a little bit simple because we spent a lot of work on the box. So I'm just going to create a fairly easy design for the top. And it's already starting to take shape. Now I'm going to take my Smoky Slate brush tip. I'm just going to brush over top of the stamen just to deepen that little flower in the center without too much work at all. So now I can just add this to the top of my box. And just center it on that other label. Then I'll take my little thank you and I'll take some dimensionals and I'll just add 2 to the bottom of this label. Remove the backings. And I want to leave enough room over here on the side so that I can add my bow. And earlier I tied myself a bow using Petal pink organdy striped ribbon. And I'm going to just use a mini glue dot and pop it on the back of this bow. And then I can add that to the box in the top right corner. And there you go, a very pretty, unique sort of box. Now if you pull off the lid, you can fill it with a lot of candy. I happen to have Hershey's Kisses on hand, so I'm just going to grab a handful and another handful. And I tried this earlier and I was able to put about 18 Hershey's Kisses in here comfortably. So that's just to give you a size reference. You could put other candy in here, or it would be perfect for a little gift as well. All the supplies you'll need to make this beautiful box are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. I love to reward my customers with free tutorials. Check out my Hershey's Hedgehog tutorial. You can get this tutorial free if you place an order over $15 in my Stampin' Up store. For more details, check out my blog at cubiesquest.com and click on rewards. Hi, it's Brenda again. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog for more information on my projects and to learn about my rewards program, or just watch another one of my videos. Thanks for watching.